So hi everyone, welcome back to Architect Learning. So if you are working in cloud, DevOps or automation, then learning Terraform is no longer optional. It is a must-have skill for net reviews and real-world projects. So in this video, we are starting module one, that is Terraform Fundamentals, where you understand what what is Terraform, how it is powerful, what is language it works, and the Terraform workflow as well. So by end of this video, you will clearly understand how Terraform thinks. Okay. So let's and work with the start working with the Terraform fundamentals. So what is Terraform? So Terraform developed by HashiCorp is an open source tool for infrastructure as a code. This is very important. When there is a Terraform word you come, you should by if you hear Terraform word, that's infrastructure as a code it should come in your mind. So what it do, it allow you to define both cloud and on-premise resource in human readable configuration file that you can version, reuse, or share. Okay, so like you can simply using this Terraform, you can simply create virtual machines, networks, load balancer, Kubernetes cluster, even on infra, not only on cloud, you can even in on-premise structure also, on-premise infrastructure also you can create. And best part is this code is human readable, version control, reusable, and you can also share with your teams. Okay, so you can see what are the data centers, all this we can create using the ISAC. So what is declarative and imperative? Okay. So first of all, Terraform follows a declarative approach. What does that mean? You don't need to tell Terraform how to do things step by step. You just need to tell what you want. For example, uh, I want 5 servers or more than that. So you need to declare that in your you need to declare it and it will create. So it will figure out how many already exist, what need to be created and what need to be changed. It will automatically figure out. Terraform will figure out it automatically. And what is about imperative? So we have two types, right? Declarative and imperative. So imperative means you need to write the script and you need to give step by step, like create server, configure it, attach storage. But in Terraform will all handle this automatically. Okay. So here you need to tell her it's a desired state. I mean, Terraform what you want, it will get the desired state. How to achieve. Okay. So apart from that, provider. Provider means Terraform uh, is a provider agnostic. That means the Terraform concept works with the various cloud forms such as AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Kubernetes, and other platform as well, like Oracle or maybe Alibaba's. Lot of providers that Terraform can work with the Terraform. Okay, so Terraform use something called the provider means it's like plugins, so that allow Terraform to talk to the cloud API. So if you want to connect, if you are going to use Terraform in the Azure, so you need to in your configuration you have to mention this Azure uh, cloud API. So it will connect to that Azure and create the resources what you need. Got it? Language. So second is the language. So what language it use? Whether it's use Python or script or Java? No. It use HashiCorp configuration language. That is very human readable and also easily readable by machine as well. See, machine can read, but human it will difficult for some time, right, to read the Java files. I mean, if it's a new beginner, so it just a little bit take time to verify the code. But in HashiCorp, any new beginners one can easily understand what the Terraform are going to operate or what resource is going to create. When you see that code, you can easily understand. So what is the basic structure? So this is the very important one. What is the basic structure you see in your Terraform code? So block, type, name, arguments. Okay. So block means the container of the content, example resource, type, the specific kind of block, whether it's a AWS instance or Google Cloud instance or maybe your on-premise. So that is the type you are defining. What type of uh, uh, code is? I mean, what type of resource it is. Then you have to give assign the name. So unique name of the resource within your code and argument that is configuration details like parameters or values. So here's the basic example. You can see hello world example. It's using the AWS provider. Provider means, as I said earlier, uh, you're defining you're telling the Terraform uh, where you need to connect. So you need to connect to the AWS cloud. Okay. So provider, AWS, where you want to create, you want to create it in region US East 1. Okay. Second thing, this is the provider block. Now resource block. Coming to the resource block, define a piece of infrastructure. So like syntax, right? So here giving the resource, what type of resource is a AWS instant virtual machine. Okay. A metadata, the first server, it is not a name. Don't make like sometimes we will get confused like whether it's a server name. No, it's not a server name. And AMI, so that is image, right? What image we are going to use. So image is defined here. Instant type. There's a lot of instant type like T2 micro or if, it depends on the I mean if you performance. If you want to high performance, so according to the cost of the instant type also the curves get changed. So here you need to define what type of instant type we have defined, and here we have given the name of the instant. So here you can see tag equal to name equal to Terraform Devo. So what it will do first, it will create the it will connect to the AWS cloud, create a resource that is AWS instant. This is the image and this is the instant type. So instant type like it will here it will automatically T2 micro has per it will get 2 CPU or 4 I mean 4 GB of RAM and maybe 2 or 4 CPU processor like that. Okay. So it depends on the size. It will automatically get, and then we are giving the name. That's it. So what we are done here we are giving the AWS. We are telling the we are creating one instant. Okay. And so coming to the core flow, the life cycle. So sequence like you need to see you that's everything you need to go with the steps as well. So this is the very important thing. So Terraform init. Okay. So this command, what command will this do? Terraform init. It will initialize your project. It is like starting your engine or kicking or making a self start of your bike. So like that, it you are when I mean for example when you start your riding your bike you will start your you will push enter the key right and then it is started. So like that you are starting you are initializing your project. So what it will do when you perform Terraform init, it will download the plugins, recure provider plugins. Without giving init, no any command will work in the Terraform. So first command and it must command that is Terraform init you need to give. Okay. So it's initialize the working directory, whatever the plugins it's needed. You have given, I mean providers you have given, that provider plugins will get installed. Okay. Then we have Terraform FMT. That's it's just verify the format. Okay, is just rewrite the configuration file to canonical format and style. What is the HCL style? We don't know, right? Maybe some space will be given, or maybe some quotation you have missed, or maybe extra you have given. So once you do Terraform FMT, so it will automatically uh, it will rewrite the configuration files. It just verify the format. Okay. Then Terraform validate. Okay. So strict syntax checks. So it will check like, oh, is there any syntax mistake, any code flower bracket, or maybe any error? It's not connecting syntax for this, so that we can validate. Like syntax error or missing any argument. If it's not connecting to the when you initialize, if it's not connecting to the when you try to you perform the Terraform init, right? And it's not initializing, so you can try to validate if anything syntax error. So you can this command you can use to validate. Then the important command that is Terraform plan. It's like a preview change. So when you enter this, give this command, the output of the command will show you uh, what are the changes are going to be effect. Okay, so Terraform compare your code, decides this against the real world current state, and create an execution plan. So execution plan, it will show you what are the changes are going to happen. Okay. And then final command is Terraform apply. So once you after Terraform apply, you will check what are the uh, what are the changes is going to happen. If everything is correct as per your requirement, so then you can apply. Okay. So like so once you apply, it will reach to the desired state. And when you apply it, it will create a state file, terraform.tf state, which act as a map between your code and real world source. I will show you on the lab. The next session, next part, I will have one fundamental Google fundamental lab. So it's very useful. If you see that lab, okay, it's a very fundamental lab. So you will easily, apart from learning, you can get practical as well, right? So I will show you that. Then coming to the Terraform destroy. Once you see, uh, once you see like if the resource is not needed, you want to clean, so you can perform Terraform destroy to remove all the resource manually the configuration. Okay, so that that's it. So what we have learned today summary. So we have Terraform is declarative. That is the first thing. It is not imperative. You define the end state. Providers. Okay. So providers that allow the Terraform to talk to specific API, whether it's Azure or resource that infers specific structures objects that you are going to create, and workflow init, plan, apply. So always make sure you first initialize, plan, plan it, and then apply it. Okay. So modules to state management, that I will go with the next session. But for this session, I'm going to, as I said, we will have one small Google fundamental lab. So just go through it, and you will get clear idea when we go through that lab as well. Okay. So thank you. Please make sure you need to see that part 2 to get this more in practical. Thank you again. Bye.